trading is a business, and there's lots of different parts of a business. And if you think of learning trading, I mean, you probably couldn't learn how to count unless somebody read a book at some time. Somebody has to teach somebody. And now here I am, I'm in Australia, in Melbourne, and I'm not trading. So even though a large part of your trading can be, you really have to be active in trading if you're going to be active. Even if you use daily charts, you have to monitor it on a regular basis. So when I can't, on occasions like this, the royalties or the money that I make from selling books and courses, or I don't teach people anymore, but the little money that I make from the other interest in trading is what helps support me. It takes out the fluctuations, if you like. Because trading, regardless of how well you do, has ups and downs. So the teaching part or the educational part brings in enough income to take the pressure off of when I'm not trading. And it affords me the luxury of doing things like this, coming over here, meeting you guys. So why do I teach if I'm so successful trading? To make money.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good answer. Which leads into, we had another subscriber shoot a question in, and they had commented, they said, oh, to be a successful trader and to make a full-time living off it, you'd need at least $500,000, and let's say if you're returning 20%, so you could have your $100,000 a year. What are your thoughts on how much money do you need, and to actually make trading your full-time gig? Should other people look at other things as well, like yourself? You've got the courses and things like that you do. Is that something other people should aspire to, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think that you should do it. You know, as long as it's morally acceptable to you, then there's nothing wrong with doing anything inside the trading or any other business that you want to do. But what were the sums that you mentioned?
Well, this person...
$500,000,
yeah,
making 20% to make $100,000 a year.
You know, yeah, 100. I was just thinking, 100 would be what, 400 a day. If you got 250 trading days over 400, would that get you? And $1 million would be 4,000.
Yeah, $2,000 a week. Yeah,
$2,000 a week.
day. Yeah.
The problem is it's an average. So that if you were going to earn $2,000 per week, one week you might make 10,000, another week you may lose 2,000. So to get to that average of 2,000 is difficult as a trader. But I'm always in turmoil about that question, because my own personal trading, if you were, I don't look for gains, you know, really huge gains. Because I'm a very conservative trader, you know, I like realistic and predictable returns per year. But there is always the odd one or two. I have a chap who I'm in contact with just now. He wrote to me, it's quite interesting actually. He wanted to know if his trading was going well. And I said, well, tell me about your trading, how you're doing. And I said, just email me your results. And he said, I'm not too good with email, can I fax you something? And he had a handwritten in a notepad every trade he had made over the last 3 months. And he had taken $1,000 to $10,000 in 30 days and wanted to know if it was good. Now, can he continue that? When I looked at his method and system and spoke to him about it, it's very interesting. You know, I wouldn't say that the average person can do it. No. There's, you know, the average trader has to be realistic, and you're not going to take $1,000 or $10,000 and turn it into $1 million in a year. You're not going to. In order to do that, you're gambling. You have to. It would be mathematically impossible to take a very small amount and turn it into a very large amount without the risk being
massive risk.
Massive risk.
Yeah.
So it can be done if you're lucky. And there's one chap, I think I haven't told you the story, but it's one that my subscribers are familiar with. A friend of mine who lived in London, who started with $100,000, and over the period of about 6 months turned it into $1 million trading in Forex. But the risks were that he was taking, he was leveraged every single trade, and eventually it only took him 3 or 4 trades to lose the $1 million. Because once he got to the million, he was convinced he could make 10 million. But he was gambling all the way to and he was a very likable character as it happened, but it was unsustainable.
What a roller coaster.
Yeah,
roller coaster
absolutely.
ride.
It's funny.
So, did I answer that question?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was going to say with that testing, because I used to do a lot more back testing than I used to, but I remember when I was playing around with some systems, and you could find systems that would return, a couple of 100% per annum, but the systems would lose all of their money multiple times throughout the year. And there's that real relationship that a lot of people don't appreciate, that risk to reward ratio. The more return and reward that you're going to get, it's very closely linked to the greater the risk. So if you want to try and get these huge returns, you've got to respect the fact that you're probably your float is going to be reduced to zero multiple times over that trading period. So a lot of people say, if you can return that sort of money, why don't you put the money in and then just have it grow on top of itself? But to get those type of systems, like you said, you have to be lucky, and really you want to trade it up, pull the money out, take your trading float back to the amount, because it's going to get wiped out at some point in time. And if you kept on trading everything like your friend did, traded it up to $1 million and then and lost it all. So.
Something I say on that, sorry if I may, about risk and reward. We need to appreciate that reward is only potential, risk is certain.
Yes. There's very few things you can control in trading. I can't remember which boxer said it, but someone said that everybody has a game plan until they get punched. And it's like that in trading. I can show you some plans that have incredible returns or look fantastic. But when you're using your own money and you're actually trading the thing, the picture just changes.
Yeah.
When you actually have to pay for things, or you're trying to... Also, I think another reason is that, to get back to your earlier question of why teach people, is that, the theory, and this is a good example of why 100% things don't work. The theory is if you took $1 and, doubled it up, you'd have an incredible amount, or if you earn 200% per year, in a few years you're going to have all the money in the world. But nobody does, because the practicality of trading is that when you get to a certain amount, you've got to take some money out. You try and leave some money in so that the account grows, but and another thing that I would highly recommend for traders is to find a second thing. If you do become successful in trading, invest that money maybe into something like property or something solid, or something that's not trading. Because trading, regardless of how great you are, is still an unknown.
I think that's great advice, and we were speaking about this at lunch. I think that's terrific advice I've got, not all my money's in the stock market, not even half my money, because it's that spreading of risk, and we talk about other businesses and real estate and offshore investments and all those sorts of things. It's as if you'd leave every single cent that you have net worth in the market in some way. You wouldn't do it. It'd be crazy.
Exactly.
I think so anyway.
And there's a lot of if you look at some of the traders who were successful 5-10 years ago, or who made big names for themselves, they turned relatively small amounts into large amounts, they lost it. They had something that worked really well, and that 1% chance that something go wrong happened.
It did happen.
And so they lost millions.
Yeah. So I think that's really a key lesson, which a lot of people need to appreciate, that multiple streams of income, making sure you have your money invested elsewhere.
Trading is a business.
There you go. Yeah. It should be, and considered as such, and there's so many parallels with thinking about trading as a business. I know we talk about this, you look at all successful businesses and they have, business plans. You look at McDonald's and things like that, they've got everything mapped out to a T. Trading should be the same. You really should have your trading plan that you are following, so you know what it is that you're doing. And same with really successful businesses. They really manage a lot of the metrics of what's going on. They keep an eye on how much they're making, they keep an eye on how many people are coming through the door. They're measuring all these statistics, and you really should be doing that with your own trading as well. Treat it like a business.